Hello, my name is Kim Soo-il and I'm a professor at Daegu University. Packaging is important in the merchandising and commercialization of agricultural products. Brand and packaging design should first be developed to produce packaging materials. Co-branding better enhances the brand awareness and value compared to individual branding. Today, I would like to share some examples of co-brand design and marketing from Korea and discuss matters that require attention in co-branding. I hope that this lecture will be able to serve as a reference in commercializing agricultural products. A brand is a combination of distinctive names and symbols, which is used to make consumers aware of certain products and combined services and to make them differentiated from those of competitors. A brand should be something that can be identified by both the seller and the buyer, and that creates a value as the two sides facilitate transactions. In the marketing perspective, a brand is not just a name. Value creation is the key to creating and operating a brand. The value created by a brand should benefit both the enterprise and its consumers. A true brand should not only let the enterprise to make economic gains but also allow consumers to enjoy economic, social, or psychological benefits. The continued opening of the Korean agricultural market has resulted in unlimited competition, while our Korean agriculture and stock breeding industry remains poorly prepared for the competition. Agricultural and livestock products should be branded to restore their competitiveness. The first basic principle for making profits out of a brand is to secure loyal customers. One-off purchase of a brand will not let the farms to make more money. Extra gains will be generated when customers recognize the value of the brand after their initial purchase and buy from the same brand again. It is because those customers who decide to buy from a brand they have already experienced are likely to prioritize the brand in their purchase decisions and be willing to pay more for their preferred brand. The second principle is to expand customers and the use of products through brand value. A brand can sell more products and gain a higher profit when more customers agree with the value proposed by the brand, expanding its customer base and use its products for new purposes. Key tasks in the branding of agricultural and livestock products. The source of competitiveness, which will eventually lead to long-term loyalty, should exist and be reviewed in an objective manner to build a brand. It is essential to review whether the source of competitiveness is off-limit for agricultural and livestock products of other countries and whether your brand's positioning will continue to hold significance for consumers. The most important part in any brand building is to discuss how you will create a value out of your brand. A brand should be able to let the enterprise to make economic gains while also allowing consumers to enjoy economic, social, and psychological benefits. All agricultural products of Korea are in unlimited competition with foreign products directly or indirectly. Yet it is impossible to turn every agricultural product into a premium brand. We need to have a solution to make sure that the domestic products which cannot be made in a premium brand will be able to compete with foreign products effectively. Mass brand is the new possibility that we should delve into. Let's find out what mass brand means. I will first briefly explain the definition of premium brand and mass brand. According to the dictionary, premium goods refers to goods or works that are extraordinary or well known, while mass means a large number of people who form modern society, which is characterized by mass production and mass consumption. Premium brands sell only a limited number of products that meet the desire of high-income customers. Mass brands manufacture goods in mass quantities to meet the desire of ordinary consumers. In marketing, premium and mass brands can be distinguished based on the type of consumer needs the brand satisfies in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow argued that human needs evolved in the following order: psychological needs, safety needs, social needs, esteem, self-actualization. Products that satisfy the needs for esteem or self-actualization are deemed luxury premium. The Korean public's needs for agricultural products have evolved from psychological needs to safety needs since the 2000s. The needs of high-income groups are gradually switching from safety needs to social needs. Mass agricultural brands should be able to create a value for functional needs which encompass psychological and safety needs to be relevant to Korean consumers today. Meanwhile, premium agricultural brands should satisfy the higher level needs for love and belongingness, esteem, and self-actualization. For example, people buy Prada bags despite their high price with the expectation that holding the Prada bag will earn the esteem of others. A premium brand offers a higher value to its customers in exchange of higher price. The higher price and low quantity do not automatically make something luxury. Mass branding is a strategy available to ordinary agricultural products that are not perfect in some aspect. You need to focus on a certain feature when branding this type of products to make sure that they can create a value and be remembered by consumers. To do so, it is crucial to clearly identify which functional needs of consumers can be met by your farm product. The key to mass branding is to find which needs of which market segment can your product satisfy. For example, apples that are not sweet and sour enough and not that great in color and size, while being thin-skinned, cannot be branded as premium due to these weaknesses. However, all these characteristics can make them nutritious apples that babies can eat without peeling. That can be the best apples for babies. You should not perceive that a mass brand sells second-class products that are inferior to those sold by a premium brand. A mass brand should also sell first-class products. What is important is to find the market in which the mass brand can thrive and to be the best. This process is called positioning and marketing. A premium brand advertises that its products excel in every aspect. On the other hand, a single outstanding feature should be highlighted for a mass brand to be successful. In traditional marketing, second best cannot survive in the market, and the same goes for mass brand. The key for a mass brand survival in the market is to find where it can be the best. You should first accurately identify what type of value your product can create for consumers. Consumers see values in the best products only. So the first thing to do is to find what type of value is best satisfied by your product. It is essential for a mass brand to have proprietary assets, something other cannot do, to survive longer in the market. A brand should have something exclusive to it, something that others do not have, to remain relevant for a long term. The dedication and experiences of farmers and livestock keepers, as well as regional characteristics, form and deliver a brand of agricultural livestock products. And these distinctive aspects define the brand's characteristics and personality, making it unique and special. Among these proprietary assets, the one that can create a value for consumers should be identified to ensure that the brand will be profitable in the long run. Such an asset does not have to be valid globally. What you should have is an exclusive asset that is relevant in the market segment where your product will be sold. A brand should have a clear management authority. A brand can be powerful only when all of its production and sales activities as well as the quality of products are controlled properly. It is essential to review which entity will have the total authority and control over the agricultural and livestock products to be branded. You should examine whether it is the right time to introduce a mass brand considering the product's life cycle. A product's life cycle in the market can be broken down into the introduction, growth, maturity, and decline stages. The most appropriate timing for mass branding is in the late growth stage. Branding is not very meaningful in the market that has already entered the maturity stage. If the product's market is in the maturity or later stage, you should subdivide the market to find the segment that is still growing and brand your product with a focus on the properties that will appeal to the target segment. The first and foremost task in mass branding is to match the strength of your product with the needs of consumers. You need to analyze which strength of each product or product group will meet which the needs of consumers to determine the values that will appeal to your consumers. Consumers only remember one thing about a product unless they are buying something of high interest to them. It is not meaningful to deliver many messages to consumers when it comes to mass brand. It is better to subdivide the market based on core values. For example, a market can be divided into a sub-market for consumers who prefer eco-friendly products, which is centered on the safety needs, and a sub-market for consumers who prefer tasty products, which is centered on taste, a psychological need. Then you can choose which market will be the target of your brand. You have to carry out a consumer analysis, a self-analysis, and a competition analysis to finalize the target market of your brand. The target market should be accessible and be able to create the best value for both producers and consumers through the brand. More specific goals for cost, sales, and revenue can be defined in this phase. Let me explain about 5 requirements for a brand. Brand loyalty. Loyalty for a brand drives the profits of the brand. A brand should be able to give its consumers a clear value and justification for them to choose its products again. Products that can attract loyalty should be made, and brand loyalty should be realized in order for the brand to enjoy benefits such as higher price and higher market share, which are directly related to profit. Brand loyalty can also be an important strategic consideration in the supply perspective. Many brands at present are having a hard time in creating loyalty. Although consumers may recognize that certain brand has better products, it is often impossible for them to buy the same brand later in retail stores due to the auction system of today. A solution should be developed to make sure that your products will be there for the customers when they wish to buy from your brand once again. If your products are supplied in small quantities, limiting the number of vendors can be a solution. Brand awareness. In mass branding, it is most important to keep your brand's message short, clear, and easy to understand for consumers. The strengths of agricultural livestock products and the value required by consumers should be integrated into the name of your brand, and detailed messages to promote the name should also be determined. When you are deciding the message of your brand, you should remember the fact that the producers are experts who have been in the farming or stock breeding industry over a long time. Meanwhile, consumers are not experts. Mass brands should cater to consumers who have zero expertise. Thus, the message delivered by a mass brand should be easily understandable by consumers who know little about the product. Making people aware of the brand's name in a cost-effective manner is as important as good naming. The most cost-effective way of raising brand awareness is to make good use of packaging, which will always be in a display for consumers in stores. Your brand should always be visible to consumers in retail stores for it to be stamped on consumers' minds. Co-branding is an option for mass brands. For example, if your brand is named as Baby Love, the brand's value will be about eco and baby-friendly agricultural products that are nutritious for babies. I talked about thin-skinned small apples earlier. If these apples and other products that share the same concept were included in the same brand, the awareness of and loyalty from the brand will be significantly improved. Perceived quality. When it comes to agricultural livestock products, it is possible that the quality perceived by consumers is not the best or average quality of the respective product group. Consumers perceive the quality of the worst product of a brand or the worst batch of a product as the quality of the brand or product. Such a phenomenon is intensifying as information travels fast on the internet these days. That risk should be understood and product quality should be kept under tight control. At the same time, attention should be paid to the possibility that producers and consumers may define quality differently. For instance, if the quality of Seongju melon is defined by its taste among consumers, there is no point in controlling its size. Brand association. Brand association is the something that gets associated in your memory when you hear the brand's name. It should be studied in advance whether the unique strengths, meaning the positioning of the agricultural livestock products to be branded, will be enhanced when they are associated with certain memory. Proprietary assets. Proprietary assets are the foundation for developing a mass brand of agricultural livestock products. A mass brand of agricultural livestock products cannot invest infinitely in advertisement, so lack of proprietary assets will make it very difficult to develop a mass brand that can survive for a long time. Continuous communication and awareness raising should take place in parallel with brand building to ensure that the proprietary assets will have a lasting impact. Once a strategy or plan that meets all these requirements is established, your brand will finally be ready to be launched in the market. If a mass brand does not have a clear management body that controls everything, benefits from the brand can be easily gone. That is why it is important to have a management body that has the full authority. The management body should involve in all activities of the brand, ranging from marketing to quality inspection and production, to make sure that the value proposed by the brand to its consumers will be maintained. Brands do not necessarily have to be region-based. If it is impossible to supply products of the same quality to certain market or region, you can develop a single brand targeted at several regions and determine a management body for a brand. If a brand name Honggil-dong represents the sweet taste, the management body of the brand may decide to bring any products that are sweet enough and whose sweetness can be controlled into Honggil-dong brand regardless of their geographical origin. Now I will share 3 strategies for brand continuity. First, the importance of brand management. Brand creation is not the end. Babies must receive continuous care to grow into adults who can contribute to their family or to society. More resources should be invested in growing a brand rather than in creating it. Second, management measures. The assets of a mass brand should be continuously managed to ensure its continuity. Brand awareness should be managed to make sure that ordinary consumers can always recognize the brand's products. For example, you should always keep a close eye to prevent boxes or labels from being switched in the process of distribution, and measures should be taken to guarantee that the original brand will be maintained when such an incident takes place. Quality should be monitored continuously. A mass brand will source its products from many ordinary farms. Quality should be tightly controlled to prevent products with a low quality that can degrade the brand's reputation from being marketed under the brand. It is crucial to manage brand loyalty. Businesses can make profits when their customers buy their products again. You should observe your consumers and control your distribution network to strengthen brand loyalty further and further. If there is a new market for your brand but the market is likely to reduce the overall brand loyalty, it would be wiser to give up on the new market. Your proprietary assets should be managed and promoted continuously. These assets serve as the foundation for the entire equity of a mass brand. Third, consumer management. Once a brand is launched, it becomes a piece of experience that all users of the brand accumulate for themselves. Once launched, the brand breaks away from one-off promises. Experiences of using the brand will decide whether people will choose the brand over and over again. That is, brand experience, not the brand itself, drives continuous sales and repeated purchase. The highest priority should be given to quality control to provide a good brand experience. Quality should always exceed the expectation of consumers. However, in the case of food products, consumers will remember the lowest quality, not the best or average quality of products. It should be noted that a single mistake in quality control of a known brand can result in an irreparable blow. It is also essential to clearly communicate the strength of the product to your consumers so that they can be aware of and enjoy those strengths. Such a communication can be made by using packaging or POP displays at stores. For example, what you have to enjoy the most while eating halabongs of Jeju is their scent, but many consumers do not know this. Providing information on how to use your product is also an effective way to improve brand experience. In particular, consumers' experience with agricultural livestock products may vary significantly depending on how they are stored. Giving enough information so that consumers will not freeze products that should not be frozen and ripen, those that need several days of ripening, is a way of improving brand experience and subsequently enhancing brand loyalty. Brand audit can be divided into two parts. The first audit takes place in the phase of brand planning, while the second one is carried out after brand implementation. I will touch upon a first brand audit that takes place in the brand planning process. Why and how a brand can make profits should first be specified in the brand plan. It is because all brands are built to make money, not to spend money. A harvest process through which the brand will make revenues should be defined from the planning stage. A number of indicators for the branding process should also be specified as part of the harvest strategy. Indicators and targets that are directly related to profit and that can be measured, such as the repurchase rate in your target market segment and the extra willing to pay price, should be defined. Your brand plan should not solely depend on the belief that the brand will be known widely and create potential markets. It is often considered that the ultimate measure of a brand's performance is how widely its name is known. Although it can be a performance model for advertisement or consulting companies, it can never be a profit model for agricultural livestock producers who are trying to build a brand. Without a reason to believe that sales and profits will exceed cost in 2 to 3 years, the branding process will be nothing but a waste of resources. Specific grounds should be provided in the brand planning stage to show that the cost effectiveness of a brand would be high. Let's move on to the second audit that takes place after brand implementation. Brand audits should be done in a constant manner, even after the brand has successfully been implemented, making profits for producers. A brand is not at a standstill. It evolves as it interacts with consumers. Preserving a brand is even harder than creating one. It is like planting an apple tree. Simply planting an apple tree will not make any profit for the farm. The tree should be looked after and managed continuously to bring earnings. Planting a good seedling of apple tree on a fertile Soil will not automatically lead to higher revenues. The tree should be well taken care of every year. For brand management, you should continuously review whether the components of brand equity are being managed properly in the perspective of brand experience. Risks should be removed by doing so, and it should be constantly examined whether the brand is continuously making profits for producers. The key of any agricultural livestock brand is value creation. A brand should make money, not spend money. A brand should be able to create a value, driving a sales and profits for the company. It should also be able to create a value for consumers. The strengths of the product to be branded should be understood, and its exclusive advantage that can be of value to consumers should be identified. It is also important to find which strength of your product can satisfy which needs of consumers and maximize the value for consumers, and to brand the value. A series of requirements should be met before introducing a mass brand. There are conditions to be fulfilled before the launch of a mass brand. You should determine the name of your brand with a simple message that can appeal to the general public and develop a strategy to raise the awareness of your brand at a low cost. You should have the ability to recognize which aspect of quality is of the highest interest for consumers and to manage quality to prevent failures in quality control. Your distribution network should also be coordinated to make sure that consumers will be able to buy your brand again whenever they wish to. All these requirements should be met first before implementing any strategy for your brand. The post-management of a mass brand determines its success in terms of profitability. A mass brand can create profits through loyalty and expanded use of products. Post-management is thus much more important than launching in profit-making. Brand experience becomes very important for consumers once a brand is launched. Brand experience eventually leads to brand loyalty. Continuous efforts should be made to reinforce positive experiences with the brand. It should be constantly monitored whether the 5 requirements for a brand are being met in order to win the competition. The goal of a brand is to create a value and make profits. Audits should take place to review whether the brand continues to create its target value after the launching. The audit results should be incorporated into brand management with the goal of ensuring that the brand will remain as a tool for continued revenue generation. Now I would like to share some examples of co-branding. 임금님표 Incheon Rice ranked top in consumer awareness and brand value among some 2,000 rice brands. According to Jungang Research and Insight Research, 임금님표 Incheon Rice topped the brand power index among all the rice brands included in their surveys. The brand power index considers the level of recall and purchase intention. Interbrand evaluated the value of rice brands in Korean won. 임금님표 Incheon Rice was worth KRW 37.1 billion, 대왕님표 여주 Rice KRW 11.8 billion, and 철원 Ode Rice KRW 4.9 billion. 임금님표 Incheon Rice had the highest brand value. Interbrand multiplied the brand earning by the brand strength to evaluate the brand value. The brand of 임금님표 Incheon Rice, which highlights the fact that Incheon Rice had historically been offered to the king, was launched in June 1995. Incheon City and 10 national agricultural cooperative federations in the region registered this very first rice trademark of Korea as joint owners. Let's find out how the brand marketing of 임금님표 Incheon Rice became a success. First, Incheon was quicker than other regions in branding its local rice, which had been historically popular to reinforce the brand awareness. Although Yeoju had also been known for its rice, the awareness of its rice brand is weaker than that of Incheon because Yeoju rice was branded later than Incheon rice. This shows that Incheon rice is clearly enjoying the advantages as an early starter. Second, a co-brand that encompasses the whole of Incheon was developed and promoted to manage the overall reputation of Incheon rice. Its products were supplied all year round to distributors through scaling up. All these efforts have resulted in a higher brand awareness. Third, Incheon City took the lead in actively advertising and promoting the co-brand, which also has helped the brand to strengthen its awareness. Despite the success, some people point out that the confidence in the rice's origin has been reduced and that the brand's quality control is weak. There are criticisms that the brand's product assortment is limited and that its promotional activities are not systematic. The brand will have to develop measures for better quality control that can boost the consumer confidence and a wider variety of promotional activities. Let's watch a promotional video produced by Incheon City.
밥 먹고 합시다.
맛있는 이천살 햇님표 이천살 산다는 게 다 그런 거지 누구나 잘 먹고 싶지 맛집 찾은 한편의 얘기들을 세상에 뿌리며 살지 자신에게 실망하지만 모든 걸 먹을 순 없어 오늘 먹고 내일도 먹으면 돼 인생은 밤시이야 난 이천살 먹지 이천살 뭐야 이천살 난 이천살 먹지 이천살 뭐야 이천살
역시 프로의 양반.
우리 가족 건강 위해서 무엇을 먹어야 할지 고민하고 방황하던 시간이 없다는 거짓말이지 말해 뭐해 수라상처럼 푸짐한 한정식 쌀밥 한 상 차린 눈이 부시면서도 맛있는 행복이여 걱정은 팔자 이천살 진짜 입맛이 두는 대로 가면 돼 이제는 더 이상 인스턴트 안녕 내 가족 건강한 먹거리 아침밥 필수 누룽진 선택 입맛이 가는 대로 선택해 숭늉은 쌀밥에 흔적일 뿐이야 다가올 후식 두렵지 않아 난 이천살 먹지 이천살 뭐야 이천살 난 이천살 먹지 이천살 뭐야 이천살 걱정은 팔자 이천살 진짜 입맛이 두는 대로 가면 돼 이제는 더 이상 인스턴트 안녕 내 가족 건강한 먹거리 아침밥 필수 누룽진 선택 입맛이 가는 대로 선택해 숭늉은 쌀밥에 흔적일 뿐이야 다가올 후식 두렵지 않아 난 이천살 먹지 이천살 뭐야 이천살 난 이천살 먹지 이천살 뭐야 이천살 난 이천살 먹지
Jirisan Sunhan Korean beef, meaning 100% Korean beef produced in the clean environment of the Jirisan region, is Korea's first co-brand of livestock products. This Korean beef brand was launched by 7 Korea federations of livestock cooperatives in eastern Jeollanam-do. The launching of the brand led to a huge wave of association of cooperatives at provincial level. The cattle raised within the area of the Sunan Korean Beef Cooperative take up about 6.5% of the total number of cattle raised in Korea. The cooperative has a large supply base of 564 stock farms raising 2,005,551 heads of cattle managed by the 7 Korea federations of livestock cooperatives in the region with an annual supply of 5,000 heads. If you see its structure, the participating cooperative federations concluded an agreement for the joint project. While the brand's cooperative and stock farms signed a contract where the rules of the management of a co-brand and the rules of the cooperative units are defined. The Council of Cooperative Representatives makes decisions on the major matters related to the brand as the highest decision-making body. The brand's cooperative unit and the participating cooperative federations each have their roles and responsibilities. The cooperative unit deals with the responsibilities delegated by the council and duties related to the brand. The participating cooperative federations allocate dedicated personnel who can oversee the co-brand project. They also work side by side with those who oversee extension, economy, and distribution to provide consulting services to stock farms, manage and control the history of production and shipment, and facilitate promotion and sales at the federation level. Jirisan Sunan Korean Beef has a stable sales network thanks to its exclusive supply agreement with Lotte Shopping. Jirisan Sunan Korean Beef is the biggest selling brand among all the single agricultural livestock fishery products sold by Lotte Shopping. The brand has successfully transformed itself into an MPB, which exclusively sells products of a producer's brand. With the successful branding, its sales went up dramatically from KRW 8.8 billion in 2005 to KRW 29.8 billion in 2007. The brand also received the Brand Excellence Certificate from Consumers Korea and awards from the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, and many more. The brand also successfully launched a beef fund for the first time in Korea, raising KRW 8 billion in 2006 and KRW 6.4 billion in 2007. What are the 4P strategies of Jirisan Sunan Korean Beef? First, Jirisan Sunan Korean Beef raised the rate of cattle pedigree registration, which remained at 40% in 2003, and the brand was launched to 80% in 2007 to lay the foundation for raising high-quality cattle. The ratio of yield grade 1 or higher cattle was also improved by approximately 21% from around 74% in 2003 to 85% in 2007. The age at shipment rose from 27 months to 30 months, which led to an increase in the market weight from 370 kilograms to 400 kilograms or more. As the quality and consistency of products improved, the brand was able to supply Korean beef of a consistent quality to consumers in a stable manner. In particular, the rearing period of their cattle was increased to at least 30 months, which is close to that of Japanese Wagyu, to enhance the depth of flavor and better satisfy consumers while differentiating from imported beef. The 222 stock farms participating in the co-brand obtained the pesticide-free certificate, meaning that the safety of their products is guaranteed. Thanks to this, Jirisan Sunan Korean Beef was able to expand its distribution network further and raise its price by about 10%. The livestock sales division of Nonghyup and Nonghyup Feed are providing a strong support to the brand. The e-brand hall opened on the Nonghyup Feed website is also promoting the excellence of Jirisam Sunan Korean beef. Quality certification, the producer real name system, the recall system, and other measures are being added to improve the consumer confidence. And 90% or more of its products on the shelves have the trademark of Jisan Sunan Korean beef on them. The brand transports live cattle in dedicated vehicles that have enough space to prevent accidents and the deterioration of meat quality. Let's recap how Jirisan Sunan Korean beef succeeded. First, the launching of Jirisan Sunan Korean beef in 2004 coincided with the implementation of the government's livestock policies, allowing the brand to receive enough funds and financial assistance from the central local government and Nonghyup. Second, multiple cooperatives joined hands to facilitate the co-branding project and achieve the economy of scale. The cooperatives jointly purchased feed and other production materials at lower prices than in the case of individual purchasing. They were able to find lecturers and utilize experts more efficiently through joint education and consulting for farms. Third, Jirisan Sunan Korean beef took a different approach from the existing brands of Korean beef. The brand was designed to build to meet the needs of distributors rather than the needs of producers. Stable supply capacity, marketing were the main focus. This strategy worked well in the marketing and promotional activities for distributors. Fourth, the brand carried out joint projects with Nonghyup from its early days and established a system to facilitate industry, academia, government collaboration with the local government and research institutes. The system helped the brand to have public confidence, to improve its capacity for distribution, marketing, and farming activities, which are weaknesses of a cooperative, and to receive a variety of assistance such as project budget more easily. Based upon these success factors, Korean beef brands should differentiate the taste and quality of their products to ensure long-term development and establish a sustainable and efficient organizational framework to overcome the fundamental limitations of co-branding. It is expected that imported meat will gain further momentum in the market and more private companies will enter the livestock industry. Therefore, co-brands of producers should strive to scale up further and enhance their competitiveness. Having more loyal customers means having more brand power, so various efforts should be made to enhance the loyalty of customers. One of the tasks to be addressed for the advancement of Korean beef co-branding is the continued development of new items such as the beef fund that can engage consumers in the Korean beef industry and attract their attention. We have looked at some examples of co-branding. I hope that the considerations and requirements for co-branding that I mentioned during this lecture will help you minimize trial and error. Thank you.